And away we go. It looks like Hamilton's got a good start and is about to jump Darvel. Both going for the same medium compound, but Hamilton taking a much tighter line through there. Darvel stays in P1, and it's now meant that Travanamuntu can have a go at Hamilton into turn 3. No pass being made. Darvel remains in P1. Hamilton P2. And a bit further down the order, Storm makes it up as Morgan and Jackson's moved up to P6. Jumped McDonald. And now Morgan and Beck side by side as McDonald spinning right down the order, all the way back down to P19. And that is an Aston Martin of Morgan making contact with Beck. That sends it right down the order, and the Aston Martin's had contact with his teammate as well. Morgan is not having a good time right now. Contact with both drivers, including his teammate. That's rule number 1. You don't make contact with your teammate. And he has fallen right down the order. So a terrible start for the Remy. But Darvel pulling away fairly well at the moment. I don't know if the Hamilton and Caravana can keep up with him. Looks like they're able to at the moment, but there's always a little bit of a gap all the way down to P4 already. Morton's actually done well to move up into P4. He's now getting attacked by Blakey into Stowe. And Morton stays ahead for now, as Lee's now rejoined the session. Maybe why he had a bit of a poor start. Still trying to get the move done. He's right behind Morton. Morton's pushing him around, and Morton goes spinning on the exit of turn 17. And that is not what the UOTC wanted. And he falls right down the order. Gibbo just on the edge of the points on a harder compound. This could very well fall into the RLC's favour here, as Morton's going to have to do an incredible recovery drive to get back into this now. A bit further down the order, we've got Corey on this pack, on the back of this pack. That starts with Sharp, who's had a really good start going all the way up to P7. So quite a lot of movements very early on here. And Morgan's trying to make his way back up as he's battling Schramper at the moment. And he does get by Schramper. That's one of our closest fight. And Sharp is on the back of Greeno, who's done well to move up into P6. Obviously, his drivers outside the top 10 all started to come through because of incidents. Obviously, his last race of the season. Maybe drivers starting to get a bit reckless. Maybe starting to, you know, get a bit overconfident. And, like, leaving it all on the table. But I tell you what, Darvel is doing what he needs to do. A 1.8 second gap to Hamilton. And pushing. Hamilton doing what he needs to do at the moment, stay in P2. But that means that Gibbo's got to get into the points, as Darvel just sets the fastest lap of the race. 131.392, as expected, on the second lap. But obviously, starting on those hards, you know, you feel the pain now, but you'll get the advantage later on in the race. As Jackson gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Looks like Lee's having issues reconnecting. So it looks like his race is all but over. Gibbo still on the back of Schrampan. It looks like the move's going to get done any time now. Can't get it done this time. We've got on board with Dickerson, who has had an absolutely scorching start and has moved up into P6. I don't know where he qualified, but it definitely wasn't in the top 10. For the Sapper Signals team, he is sitting behind Greeno, and Greeno's got a little bit of a Truly train behind him. No, it goes from 5th all the way down to 14th. He's in a bit of a DRS train behind Greeno. And Dickerson unable to get by because he's obviously on the harder compound. It may be the faster driver, but that harder compound is just making it a bit too difficult. But down the order, Gibbo is still on the back of Schramper. And even though they are on that DRS train, he looks like he's close enough to go for the move. With Vernon Higgs right behind, was disqualified in qualifying, so that means he's got a bit more race pace than where he qualified. And as Gibbo got the move done, it looks like he has, and I think Vernon Higgs is going to go and try and get the move done on Schramper as well. They go side by side into Club's corner. And Vernon Higgs up to P11, so Schramper losing 2 spots there. Jackson moving up to P12 as Rowley's fallen right down the order. The The Sapper obviously having an issue, and that's Morgan retired from the session. Big crash from Morgan at turn 1 there, and a safety car has been called. And now we're about to get underway once again. Safety car is coming in this lap, and Darville is beginning his warm-up tyre routine. You can see the flurry of 19 cars behind all warming up their tyres. Some choosing to go to the grass to warm up their tyres, which is an interesting strategy. Wouldn't do it myself. And their cars, safety car's coming into the pit lane now, and Darville's going to get us back away. He's actually gone rather early there, and maybe caught a couple of drivers like Charavana sleeping. As Hamilton's got a bit of a gap to him. Didn't catch Hamilton sleeping though. The gap's only half a second. And we are back racing once again. Green light racing. Further down the grid, Gibbo is under attack from Vernon Higgs. See Vernon Higgs on the pressure compound. He goes down the inside of turn 1. Gibbo forced to take to the runoff. It looks like they're still side by side. Vernon Higgs now has fallen behind Beck. And Beck going for the big lunge on Gibbo. Gets the move done. Beck up into P7. Ahead of Gibbo. Gibbo almost goes into a spin there, as he was still side by side. And he loses out to Lee, who has just come through on him. Gibbo, those hards obviously still very cold. Lee now up at a P8. Gibbo, P9. Intense battling, and that's Rowley. We went on board Rowley right as he's made contact with the AlphaTauri of Cross there. So Rowley's really not had a good race. They also held up drivers such as Morton, so won't be happy with that at all. As Morton charged back up the field, is halted. Had to stop for the 2 cars parked on Market. And Banyard starts pulling down the order. It looks like he's lost it at Cops. Gibbo now on the back of Lee, gonna retake that position. So not as much of a DRS train as we saw before. It looks like a couple of drivers, you know, the fighting off the safety car restart has extended the gap a bit. Could be mistaken. There he goes. Whoa. For a bit of a move there on Darville. And he actually takes out Darville into turn 4. And that was crucial. A good thing is Darville's managed to get underway again pretty quickly. Hopefully he hasn't got damage. But his lead that he had over Hamilton and Charavana, well, you can see it now. Charavana's right on the back of Darville. So he's able to just about stay in P1. But that incident, if you'd taken out Darville completely there, and Hamilton went on to win the race, that was going to be it. And still, it could change things up. That was crucial. Crucial for the Corp Championship. As Darville goes wide, his hard's still a bit cold. So Charavana had a few laps on those hards. Those tyres are in much better condition. That's why he's staying with him. Looking like he's actually going to pass Darville at this DRS zone. As Hamilton's now coming to the pits, we have to see where he comes out. I reckon he'll come out just behind these two. But it will be close. I'm not sure if that was intentional by Gibbo. Took a ride with the UOTC man. But, yeah, it looks like we could go down to the stewards to decide this championship. So Hamilton comes out on the pit exit. Is he ahead? Yes, he is. Hamilton has come out ahead of Darville and Charavana. So Charavana trying to go for the undercut. Hamilton had the pace on the mediums to just keep going. And obviously with the collision between Gibbo and Darville, Hamilton's now come out ahead of Darville. Now Darville's got a push to not only catch back up with Hamilton, but to pass him as well. Incredible stuff here. I told you it was going to go right down to the line. And it absolutely is. Dickerson now on the back of Blakey. who has Beck right behind him as well. They've come off the hards now. Beck and Dickerson, they're on the mediums, and should start to see him mount a charge through the pack. So getting right on the curb at Cops there. Now through Maggots and Beckett's. These corners are so nice when you get it done right and you hit the apexes correctly. You can actually see he's right behind Blakey. Bit of a poor exit out of Beckett's, but Beck isn't close enough out of Beckett's to get up to Dickerson. So no change of positions just yet. Darville's getting much closer to Hamilton now, obviously. On the cold tyres, and oh my word, Dickerson brakes late. Managed to avoid a collision with Blakey, but has a collision with Beck. It seems like Beck didn't know he was going to near enough come to a stop on that. And luckily, they're both going in the right direction still. And we were very close to a collision there. But both drivers come out unscathed. As Jackson picks up another 3-second time penalty. He's running P5 right now, which is pretty good. But that 9 seconds is going to drop him right down the order. Just needs a bit more careful on his entries and exits. Now back on board with our net top 3. As Darville and Charavana look like they are closing in on Hamilton. And just a preview on the second drivers. Gibbo's down in P9 and Morton's in P16. But I'm sure that Gibbo's job coming out the pits, seeing Darville there, was to hold him up. I'm sure that's what his job was to do. I don't know if the contact was intentional. And that's Greeno eventually boxing off the mediums, and he's going to go for the softs until the end of the race, as he just does not like the hard compound. And further back, we've got Lee about to make a move on Gibbo, and Lee moves up into P9, as going side by side with Gibbo through Stowe, and that's it. And Gibbo is now boxing, so Gibbo's pulled out of the top 10. He's going to box, so he's going to fall right down the order. So it's all going to be is who can finish ahead between Darville and Hamilton. Whoever finishes ahead will win the race. Well, shock. That was a proper Will Buxton quote. Whoever finishes ahead will win the race, but also they'll win the championship, the Corp Championship. So driver's champion after that contact with Gibbo. Now trying to make his way back through and secure the Corp Championship as well. I'll tell you what, Morton hasn't made this easy for him. If Morton could have just got into the points, then this would have been a bit easier. But he's currently sitting down in P15, and he's got a bit of a gap towards the point scoring positions. Now, Darville's not within DRS just yet. I've got a yellow flag in Sector 2. Not sure what for. It didn't look like anyone had gone off. Maybe Banyard had taken to the grass, doing a little bit of lawn mowing. And now Charavana still get put along by Darville. Charavana could win this race. He could properly upset the championship by winning this race. You know, he's still in Darville's DRS. Darville sets another fastest lap. You know, if Hamilton defends hard against Darville, that could be it. And Banyard has retired from the session in the pits. Now down to 18 drivers on the grid. As Morton's coming into the pits as well. Looks like his strategy is just not being that effective. But he's going to come out near Gibbo. So here's the thing, right? Now Gibbo's down in P16, and I think Morton's also out of the points. Let's say Darville does get back past Hamilton, which is what we're soon going to see. But before that, Dickerson's all over the back of Beck. I don't know if he's going to get him into Cops. He's not. He's going to get a good run, though. It's going to be on the back through Magnus and Beckett's. Which before that, Darville is within DRS of Hamilton. No movement yet, as Hamilton's getting pulled along by Jackson as well, who I believe will have to box this lap. as he almost loses it. Almost loses it, and I believe that's Hamilton alongside him now. And Hamilton does get the move done. Now Darvel wants to get this move done on Jackson as quick as he can. I know he's not going to want to waste any time. And maybe even try and push to get it done to turn 1. He is. That is a risk. That is a risk. They're all put on the line. There's a little bit of contact. Jackson's not backing down. Stays end of the turn 1. Darvel's going to dive into turn 2. Take the inside line. Jackson is closing the door and defending hard. And this is just making them lose time. And give Hamilton more of an advantage. Now this could, with 5 laps remaining, head back to the RLC's way. All because Jackson is doing Hamilton a favour that I don't think he is ever asked him to do. Or owed. But still Darvel's behind Jackson. Although, well, Hamilton's also got past Sharp as well. So there's another 2 drivers that are just sort of in the way for Darvel. But what I was saying before is if they're tied on points, let's say Hamilton gets P2, which is 18 points, Darvel gets P1, it's 25. Gibbo comes in, boxes for softs, takes the fastest lap point. That would put the RLC having a total of 19 points. Oh, no, it still wouldn't be enough. It wouldn't be enough. And Darvel's gone for the move into Stowe. Jackson's fallen down the order now. And, I say down the order. Charavan has also said, thank you very much. I think Jackson's tyres are very much dead at this point. That's Corey coming to the pits as well now. So the last sort of back marker they want to get by, it's not really a back marker, it's just they just haven't pitted yet, is Sharp. He's taken those hard tyres as long as he can. He's currently running P2. And Sharp is RLC. So he may try and defend as hard as he can against Darvel. And try and give Hamilton as much of a gap as he needs. The gap's 2 seconds. Sharp's going to go for the lunge into turn 6. Sorry, Darvel's going to go for the lunge into turn 6. And he gets to move Donald Sharp. Sharp tries to come back at him, but to no avail. Now Darvel's got to chase down Hamilton all over again, and 4 laps left to go. This is going to come all down to the fastest, all down to the last lap. Because currently Greeno's got the fastest lap point. There's 25 at 18. Currently, it will go to the RLC. If Darvel gets past Hamilton, that's all he'll need to do. As Gibbo and Morton seem like they're in no man's land, as Morton takes the fastest lap point. But it still won't be enough. I don't think fastest lap point matters at the moment. So who's going to finish ahead up between Darvel and Hamilton? Charavan is still trying to get by Sharp. Senses an opportunity at the exit of Stowe. Sharp's going defensive. Charavan is going to try and get by. He wants to stay with Darvel. You know, there's still a chance for Charavan to win this race and take his first win of the season. He gets by. Jackson does now pit. Sharp stays out, and I think they're still side by side. Sharp's going to come back in, but Charavan I'm on to up into P3. And now, what we got? Greeno, actually. I think Greeno's strategy has actually been really good. Like, usually, I have a go to strategies, but the medium soft strategy that he's had has worked out. He's up at a P6 and all over the back of Lee. Looking to go for P5. I thought he could have gone for a move then. Chose not to. Stays behind. The gap between Darvel and Hamilton, 2 seconds. 3 laps left to go. I don't think Darvel's going to be able to do it. I think the RLC are going to take this. After a dramatic turn of events, Greeno all over the back of Lee. Going through Maggots and Beckett's going to set him up perfectly for the back straight to get this move done. And yeah, I believe this is going to be as easy as you like for Greeno. 3/10 of a second. Using that DRS. He's not actually using any DRS. He's just using DRS to get this move done. And looks like they go side by side into Stowe. And Greeno just about ahead. They're still going to be side by side going through Club. Trying to go for the cutback. Lee, is he going to get the cutback into the final corner? No, he isn't. He's going to get better traction. But Greeno now up into P5. He's having a solid drive today. Further down the order, Vernon Higgs and Rowley's. Rowley's having another spin and he's coming into the pits now. Possibly trying to take that fastest lap point away. Back on board. Sorry, he's not taking the fastest lap point away. He's retiring from the session. I can completely understand that based on the race that he's had today. Darvel still hunting down. 3 laps left to go in this race. It doesn't look like the gap's getting any smaller. The thing is, Hamilton's also got fresher hard tyres as well. If you look at the tyre wear on Darvel's car, and then we'll look at Hamilton's, you know, about 30% for the fronts, whereas Hamilton's a similar amount, but just a little bit fresher. I don't know if Sharp's going to the end. Is Sharp going to the end? Am I? Oh. I don't know if Sharp's still got a box or not. If Sharp doesn't have the box, then the RLC are definitely going to win this. I completely forgot that Sharp's obviously racing for the RLC, isn't he? Oh my word. But even then, it looks like Hamilton's going to do enough. He's got the gap to 3 seconds. But what's this? Morton has slowed down so that Darvel can get DRS. So now Morton's going to attempt to drag Darvel along. Obviously, Morton's on the softer compound, so he should be able to match Darvel's pace and pull him along with DRS. 2 laps left to go. The UOTC are trying everything. I didn't know Sharp had already boxed. If he has, it'd be a masterclass, but I had no idea. As Blakey picks up a 3-second time penalty. Sharpie's going to the end. Well, it looks like the RLC are definitely going to take it then. We've got a driver in P1 and P4. Darvel using the DRS from Morton. Try and catch up as much as he can. He's gotten closer. It's just nowhere near enough. Morton doing everything he can to try and get ahead of him and give him back DRS, but Darvel's obviously got more pace. He's using every single bit of track that he can and more and the rest. And he gets ahead. I don't know if he was ahead at the DRS detection line. I think he attempted to get ahead at the DRS detection line just one more time. I don't know what Sharp's tyres are on, but he's doing a masterclass at the moment. But that doesn't matter. It seems like Hamilton is going to win this race ahead of Darvel. Well, the final lap of the race now. And it's going to be all over. Corey's got the fastest lap point currently. Hamilton with a 3-second gap. They're going to take the course standings after what was a dramatic race. Darvel got pole and was leading comfortably before a collision with Gibbo that actually gave Hamilton the advantage after he came out of the pits. And since then, Hamilton's been able to maintain that gap and go on to win this race. Lap 26 to 26. And I can't say it was the easiest of races. But the final lap, Hamilton is going to come across the line to win the Silverstone Grand Prix. And the RLC win the Corp Championship. Only the second Corp Championship winners. The Artillery won it last year. This year it was the RLC. A brilliant drive from Hamilton. A brilliant drive from Sharp to secure it. Unfortunate for Darvel. Look at the gap at the end of the race there. 0.2 of a second. But brilliant job to the RLC. Massive congratulations. As Darvel comes across in P2. Charavana taking P3. A solid drive from him. Sharp in P4. Brino P5. Lee P6. Blakey P7. Dickerson P8. Beck P9. And Corey P10. That's going to be it. That's going to be all our point scorers. What a race.